आज हमारा ग्रह बसंत हर पलड़ी लाम पर विरती कर जे वो चले ना फिर तद तक बनता नहीं माहौल. Anyone that does anything, someone that does calligraphy, someone that plays jodi, plays dilruba, does kirtan, even poetry, anything that's an art has an artistic link, there's a word for it. There's a temperament that you must have. You know, ehsaas dil. Your heart must feel stuff for you to do this. समझ रहे हैं कि भी तोड़े दिल नू कुछ चीज एहसास, you have to feel dukh, sukh, you know, sorrow, gum, and then process them, and then you can be above them. But to be an artist, you have to feel those emotions, right? As a Kirtani, when you read Gurbani, you have to connect to it first primarily. Your aim isn't external at first. Your first aim is to understand and connect yourself. If that's not happening, I've even been told before कि फिर वो गाओ ना शब्द. But I'm not saying this as a नसीहत. मैं नहीं कह रहा कि तुसी इतना करो. मैं कह रहा मैनू एक बंदे ने इतना क्या आया कि जे नहीं तेरे पल्ले पै रहा शब्द तो उदों गाई जो पल्ले पै गया. या उदों गाई when you resonate with it, you know. Because this leads to the second thing. When you resonate with a certain shabad, then when you sing it, the role of a kirtani comes in, which is the main role or the nucleus of the entire exercise is for me to try and convey Gurbani. Someone that's come in the Guruka, the role of who's on stage is to help facilitate that process. We connect you with Gurbani and Guru Granth Sahib. So the earth has to piece your heart for then you to walk away in a best case scenario, you know, with a life-changing experience, and at minimum with something that makes you think a little bit. You know, like, okay, I didn't think of it. You know, that's like the gamut that you're dealing with. Best case, your life changes. Worst case, you go, that was a pleasant experience, and that was interesting. That's the role that I feel. I can, again, I'm not speaking generically. I'm speaking personally right now. I feel that I am aiming to play. So the first step is internalizing, understanding, and resonating, you know, with what I'm reading, and only then singing. Because then when I sing, I'm trying to
you're expressing the meaning.
I'm trying to express the meaning. That's I feel like that's my job. Sitting on stage. My job isn't, I do Kirtan at home. And sometimes I'll sit with the tabla and then just the duggi when I'm like practicing a composition or something, and I've memorized. Sometimes you just feel like singing. That's a different thing. That's for me. That's for me. If I'm sitting on stage, it's a different story. It's not just for me anymore. So a lot of other things have to switch on, right? For example, something that everyone will agree on is that if you're sitting on stage, you can't wear the same clothes you're wearing at home. It's a little thing, but the only reason I'm mentioning that is because there is a difference in doing kirtan for yourself and doing kirtan on stage. So there is that difference where as a kirtani, connect first, understand first, and then as it resonates with you, then you express on a personal level, it's completely different. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੱਲੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਆ ਕੱਲੇ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ, then it's between you and your ishq. It's like there's no second, third, fourth party. It doesn't matter who's there. It doesn't even matter what you sound like. Doesn't even matter what you sound like. My brain's like switched off. Sometimes the kirtan I enjoy the most is the one that is the simplest of all. Because it doesn't matter at that point, right? The analytical brain can switch off. Because sada pesha hi hai, sada in that sense, this is what we do. Music, kirtan, we're always analytical. I can't help but listen to something and notate it. I can't help it. It's almost like a problem at this point. So sometimes you want something so simple that
it doesn't trigger.
It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even trigger that part of your brain. You know what I mean? So when sometimes I'm singing at home, it'll be that simple. It's just like, but that's just me and the duggi, no pura. That's it, in a room. That's a different story. It's a different story. I remember when I was singing once, Aaj hamara grah basant. This bandish, very common rag bahar. And I was singing with the bajjas facing the corner of the wall in my music room. And I didn't know this, but it still touched. I don't know why I'm telling you guys this. I've never even spoken about this stuff.
It's the effect of the podcast.
No, I've done podcasts before. And I don't. But it's just like, I remember sitting in a room and I'm just like I was facing the corner. Sometimes I'd do that. I'll just sit facing a wall. So you just want to shut everything up. And I'm facing the corner, I'm singing, and I start singing this bandish. And I don't realize this. Then I sing it for a while. It's just me in the room. I'm singing the bandish. I sing the antre, ga ga ke ram nal. I practice nahi kar raha, I just ga raha thi. Ga ga. Then I turn around, and normally, this one I used to live with my parents, and normally that my mum and dad at that point wouldn't walk into my music room. They know, everyone knows like the schedule, and he's gonna sing and whatever. It's nothing. But for some reason, she walked in the room and the door was open, and I just turned around and I didn't know she had walked in. She's already been standing there, and I turned around and then like her eyes were wet. And, like, I'm getting a bit emotional talking about it, but like I remember that moment. And I just like looked at her. I was like, you know, like it touched me as well. I was like, why is that the case? And then she's like, her daddy used to sing this just like this. I didn't learn it from him.
Yeah.
But it's almost like generational memory, you know? So when we hear lava, je har peladi lam parvirati kar, je wo challe na fir tat tak banda nahi mahol. Tat tak banda nahi mahol. Because you just, if you go Darbar Sahib, unless you satna, je sunde nahi tusi tat, jad tak aap sunde nahi na, you know, until the whole experience at Darbar Sahib, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਪੈਰ ਠੰਡੇ ਆ, ਫਰਸ਼ ਠੰਡਾ ਆ, ਹਵਾ ਠੰਡੀ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਬੁੱਕਲ ਲਾਇਆ, and you're hearing that and it's night. That triggers something else because your dad's been there, your granddad's been there, your granddad's been there. They've and when you hear that Satnam, they've heard the same thing.
Yeah.
It's in our DNA.
It's in our DNA.
It's in our DNA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
And that's what these compositions and this traditional music does to us. That's why it's important.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the full podcast on our second channel, BOS TV.
And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Let's get it to 10K subs.